What is the nicest compliment someone has ever made you? I was visiting my brother in Mumbai, India. While looking at a dress for my wife, I really liked one. I realized I did not have cash, and the shopkeeper it was a temporary setup by the roadside did not accept credit cards. I had a return ticket for the next day, so I reluctantly decided to not buy the dress. For some reason the shopkeeper asked me to take the dress anyway. I told him I don't have enough cash. He said bring the money tomorrow. I said I am flying out tomorrow, so I may not have the time to come back. He said bring the money when you come next year. I was seriously floored. I could not believe he trusted me enough that he would let me take merchandise without some sort of guarantee that I would pay him. He insisted that I take the dress and pay him back whenever I could. He took no name, no phone number, nothing from me as a guarantee of payment. He said I know you are an honest man and you will pay me. My son told me I smell like a fruit roll-up. You have cute hands. I used to work as an art teacher for kids from ages 3 to 10. Once, in one of the schools where I worked, I noticed the small kids started a rumor about me. I would see the girls giggle, whisper, and look my way. One day, one of the girls walked up to me and said she wanted to ask me a question. I said sure, and she very shyly whispered in my ear, "Is it true you're a secret mermaid?" It was just the cutest thing ever. You have a smile that could brighten a rainy day. I want my sons to grow up like you. Made my week. No, my life. When my wife and I first started dating, we came home from some sort of late morning afternoon thing. She flopped down on the bed, and as is right and proper, I walked over and hopped on the bed from the footboard to kiss her. She put her hand on my chest to stop me, looked me straight in the eye, and said, "You're so handsome." Oh my God. I hope it's the last thing I think of before I die. I'm proud of you. My grandfather said that to me. You'll never forget that moment. During a fight with my husband caused by my low self-worth issues, he said, "Don't you realize that you are the only thing in this world that makes me want to be a better person? Don't you realize you are the reason I want to be more like you?" Fight stopped and I just sobbed. I love how passionate you get when you talk about things you care about. I'm not sure it's the nicest thing, but professionally it was. My senior year of college, a reasonably famous in his field professor told me that the only undergrad class he shared his real research with was mine, and it was only because he wanted to hear my opinion and questions on his papers and presentations before submitting them for publication or going to a conference. I was so flattered I added it as a second major. Still do research with him to this day. Clever girl. My piano teacher in college said, after playing the first and second movements of Beethoven's Moonlight, "I think that is how he would have wanted that played." Yeah, that was a good day. A girl once told me that you were one of the very few men I know that respect women, and that was simply amazing. I felt like what I worked so hard at, being man with value and character, came to fruition. Edit. I believe what she saw different is that I saw her for who she was and recognized her as a human being, not an alien woman being who's only worthy if beautiful. Looked her in the eye when she spoke, never patronized her even if she said anything dumb, especially because she was insecure about feeling stupid. Explained things gently, never interrupted her speech. Took her physical and mental problems seriously. Walked her to the bus stop every time she had to go home and waited until the bus arrived. Never made inappropriate jokes around her or about her. Never cursed around her and so on. I did that consciously, so the compliment made me feel on top of the world. 100x better than compliments on my looks. You don't smell so bad for a fat guy. I was training to be a medic in the army, and part of my training was to work in a hospital for a month in various areas. One day I was working with an anesthesiologist during a surgery. For the most part, there isn't much they have to do unless something goes wrong. He brought in a physiology book to quiz my knowledge. I knew the answers to almost every question he asked, and after one answer about the function of a specific part of the kidney, the surgeon stops what he was doing, looks at me, and says, "Why the hell is the army wasting its money to make you a medic? They should send you to med school." That was over 10 years ago, and it still makes me smile anytime I think about it. You're a good mother. I had just braided my hair into 8 braids and a girl with far more impressive braids squealed and said she loved my hair. I was told I have a face for radio. As an after-school tutor, I still fondly remember a student saying something to the effect of, "Why are you out here and not teaching this actually in school? I've never heard this explained so clearly in my life." As a self-published author, I literally went and printed out one of the most gushing reviews a book of mine ever received, and I leave its printout near where I do my writing to keep me going even through the toughest writer's block days. Haha oh. And one time a couple months back a cute barista at the local coffee shop told me I look really good in the shirt I was wearing, still writing the hi, too. I was walking upstairs in an IKEA wearing a striped shirt and black dress when this sweet lady said to me, "I love your outfit. It brings a smile to my face and brightens my day." Man, I grinned so hard. She made my day. I didn't even get a good look at her. Thank you, random lady, for being so nice. When I was about 12, my stepmom said that she didn't know how I turned out to be such a good kid considering how loony my bio parents were. This whole place wouldn't work without you. You are our rock. On a date, I was told that I articulate myself well, and they liked the way I express my thoughts. I overthink everything and find myself revisiting conversations and what I should have said. So to hear that from someone I thought of highly was cool. My old school Italian father, slowly dying in pain, forcing him into an induced coma, waking up at one point days before he died, reaching for my hand and saying, "My beautiful boy, don't be here when death comes." He was not one of words or expressing himself. I've always remembered that moment.